First, number one overall pick, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever were at the UT Arlington College Park Arena to face the Dallas Wings in a preseason game. We love what the excitement around Caitlin Clark has grown, the interest in the sport of WNBA basketball or just the women's college sports, women basketball, period. Caitlin Clark has seemed to become a catalyst for this event, and we love it. But we have to go on record to tell everyone there's a new collective bargaining agreement coming out for the NBA. And most of us who are familiar with the WNBA, they are something like a partner with the NBA. So the NBA negotiates deals with the WNBA in mind. So real big event in the Metroplex at Arlington, whereas Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever take on the Dallas Wings. And the whole time that they were in town, it's Caitlin Clark Fever. That's what they should change the name of the team to, Clark Fever, because that's all you heard, that's all you saw, that Caitlin Clark. Even on the local broadcast. Now, mind you, this is the Indiana Fever versus the Dallas Wings. And you have the Fox affiliate in the Metroplex. You had the CBS affiliate in the Metroplex. You had the ABC affiliate in the Metroplex. And you had the NBC affiliate in the Metroplex. 4 major channels in the Metroplex. And how many of those channels told you the score in the Dallas Wings Indiana Fever game? If you live in the Metroplex, you did not even know the Dallas Wings won the game. All you heard leading up to the game was Greg Bibb telling you how big of a fan of Caitlin Clark he was. And it showed when she came to town. They could have rolled out the red carpet for her and tell her, hey, just go in there and do what you want to do to our girls. Everyone is here to see you anyway. It doesn't matter what the outcome of the game is. People just want to see if you still the Caitlin Clark that was at Iowa just 60 days ago. And that's not the case. That's why they lost. Because this is a different brand of basketball. Everybody in the WNBA is a Caitlin Clark. That's the thing that people are not realizing. The game of basketball has been around before Caitlin Clark got here. Now, when it comes to her being the all-time leading scorer in NCAA history, that is a great accomplishment. But she did not reinvent the game of basketball. And you're putting too much pressure on her to carry the sport, to relaunch the sport, to revamp the sport. And that's not what she's here to do. She's here to play basketball. This is one of those times when everybody else needs to be like, we need to shut up and let her dribble, because she's a rookie. And if you put too much pressure on her, with her becoming whoever the fan base wants her to become, the president and general manager of the Dallas Wings has already spoken into existence how big of a fan he is of Caitlin Clark. He's her biggest fan. Mind you, he never said that he went to Iowa. He never told us that he was a Hawkeye. And Caitlin Clark has been in college for 4 years up until she went into the draft last month. So how can her importance to the sport be more than the footprint of your professional team? you're more concerned. It seems, we should say, it seems to us that Greg Bibb is trying to whitewash the WNBA with his thinking that Caitlin Clark, a rookie, playing in her first professional game where she lost to his team, the Dallas Wings. And so that's why we wanted to hold off a minute before we spoke about the WNBA, because we don't want it to seem like we're hating on the WNBA. We have voiced it several times on this very show, DallasSportsTalkRadio.com, that we are the biggest fans of the WNBA. When Skylar Diggins was a member of the WNBA here in Dallas, people forget we had Skylar Diggins here in Dallas. The team that shows you right there what we're speaking on. Greg Bibb didn't even show this level of excitement for his own player. His own player. Then you look at the second biggest name in WNBA draft 2024. Angel Reese plays overseas. Her game isn't even televised. That's what's baffling to us here at DallasSportsTalkRadio.com. They telling us, hey, the WNBA, now these are rumors. We haven't pulled up the numbers. We haven't checked the figures. So we can't sit here and say beyond a shadow of a doubt that we know what we're speaking on when it comes to the figures of the WNBA. But when you go on social media and you see all the women haters that are in sports broadcasting telling you that the WNBA hasn't turned a profit in 25 years and why don't they just implode and talk about how the women look like masculine, and it's just so crazy because you never hear that the men look like women. If people forget, women are supposed to have braids and long hair and earrings, not the men. But we want to sit up here and we want to judge when no one's judging what they should be judging. What you should be judging is how the WNBA and its commissioner and the NBA and its commissioner are trying to whitewash their sports. Because something about the people who have been paving the way for Caitlin Clark aren't good enough to support. Because we're wondering, how could the second biggest name in college basketball get passed up at the number 5 pick by the Dallas Wings? That right there. So that's what we were saying. Well, maybe they knew something we didn't know about Angel Reese, that she wasn't going to get televised on her preseason game like Caitlin Clark. So don't pick her because she's not going to be on TV anyway. So why would you choose the second biggest draw in college basketball last season? Why would you want that on your team? Why would you want all the eyeballs that Angel Reese received down in Louisiana State University, 6 hours away from Dallas, if that? Why would you want that on your team when you could allow her to go to the Chicago Sky at the number 7 pick, two picks past your pick, allow Angel Reese, the second biggest draw in college sports basketball last season, the second biggest name, you allow that to go to Chicago. And all the fanfare and all the hoopla that was surrounding college basketball and Caitlin Clark, the second name you heard was Angel Reese, but they sent Angel Reese overseas for her preseason debut and don't even televise the game. So we asked the question that we have to the WNBA and the NBA with Adam Silver saying that they want people to support this product. You don't even support the product. You don't give us a reason to support the product. You're trying to whitewash the product, or it seems you're trying to whitewash the product. So why don't somebody tell us what's really going on? Because this 2 weeks ago, Greg Bill was speaking on one of the local television affiliates about how excited he is about the growth of the WNBA and how this newfound interest is coming from the WNBA. Maybe they should say it. We're so happy that there are more white people that are willing to watch the WNBA. Maybe that's what should be said. Because for 25 years, I've been watching it. But what I've seen for 25 years is exactly what is happening here in Dallas. You tell us you want us to support your product, but you don't make your product appeal to the people who really need to support the product. You put the product over in Arlington, and obviously it's not enough people or not enough money or not enough support in that sector of the city. That's the funniest thing about the Metroplex. You put everything in Arlington, so the people in Dallas don't even get an opportunity to go to the games, because then they priced out. They don't have any public transportation that goes over to Arlington from Dallas. Once you get over there, you can't even go to the Star on public transportation. And you want more people to be interested in coming to the game, so you're going to move it to the K. Bailey Hutchinson Center. But if you really wanted to make an impact with the WNBA, instead of renovating an old venue and schedule it for opening home games in 2026, 2 years away, why not break ground, build a new facility, a groundbreaking facility, a Jerry World for girls, Jerry's World for girls. That's what you should put out there. Something for the women, a facility that's specifically for the women. And that way, when you want to see the women professional sports, we all can go to this centralized location and we can show the support that we want to show, instead of being told that we got to go all the way to Arlington. And then when we get over there, we don't even get to hear about our hometown team. We get to hear more about the opponent than we hear about the hometown team. What sense does that make? What are you trying to tell the people at Dallas, Greg Bibb, general manager and president of the Dallas Wings, that the fans of DallasSportsTalkRadio.com are not welcome to UTA? We can't come and be a part of the Clark Fever? I mean, the Indiana Fever versus Dallas Wings? We want to know what's really going on, Adam Silver and the NBA. Why is it that no one has spoken out about? Let's go back to the WNBA draft. Let's go there. We'll just start at the draft. We won't even come back to this preseason game. Let's start at the draft, the WNBA draft. You talk about growing the game. We're going to show you how important growing the game is. So how many players were taken from overseas? 9. Three of them in the first round, 3 of them in the second round, 3 of them in the third round. Only one player from a historically black college university was selected in the WNBA draft. That player was from Jackson State. So this is the interesting thing about Jackson State. Hashtag building endowments, boosting enrollments. We are promoting excellence through Executive Order 13532. So back to Jackson State, a historically black college, university. The team made it to the Sweet 16. So that's another thing. All the hoopla surrounding Caitlin Clark, you missed all the other storylines. Greg Bibb, the number one fan for Caitlin Clark, you missed all the other storylines. You missed the storylines that could have. You were ecstatic about selling out a preseason game after the draft. Caitlin Clark in Indiana sold out season tickets, jerseys, waiting lists for the upcoming seasons before she even walked across the stage with the commissioner for the WNBA and held up the number one jersey. And her counterpart, which we will say her counterpart, the second most visible name in college sports, was passed up by the Dallas Wings. And you want us at DallasSportsTalkRadio.com to believe that you want to grow the sport? The draft wasn't even televised in France, Italy, or Australia. But you took 9 players from those countries. The number to call, 888-637-7678. Subscribe, engage, like, connect with us on social media at Dallas Sports TA2.